Huge news for Manchester United and Manchester City with big players coming back towards the end of the season in Amad Diallo and the long-awaited return of Rodri. I mean, for Man City going into an FA Cup final and for Manchester United going into a Europa League semi-final, that is huge. Fabrizio Romano has given an update on both of those. We're going to talk about Viktor Gyokeres because according to sources out in Portugal, there is an agreement on the table for him to leave Lisbon. The big question is, where is he going to end up? Manchester United, according to various sources, have a deal on the table for him. But a lot of speculation and a lot of people believe he will be an Arsenal player come the summer. Now, we've got a lot to get into. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on all the topics we discuss. As well as that, make sure you go down, hit that subscribe button. We will be dropping a video on the second channel later, which will be a match reaction to Barcelona versus Inter Milan in the second game of the Champions League semi-finals. But first of all, I want to get to Fabrizio Romano's updates on Rodri and Amad Diallo. And there it is. He said on April 24th, exclusive, Amad Diallo set to be back in training with Manchester United next week. Despite initial expectations for season to be over after injury, he's recovered in record time and he put the eyes out with a tick. Amad Diallo will be back for Manchester United. Now, that is absolutely huge. He's been, alongside Bruno Fernandes, their standout player this season. 6 goals and 6 assists, 12 GA in 22 in the Premier League, 2 goals in 8 in the Europa League, a goal and an assist in the League Cup, and all, of course, played in the Charity Shield as well. He is so important for Manchester United. You add him and Bruno Fernandes together, I think United have got a good chance. Athletic Bilbao are going to be, let's just be brutally honest, they are going to be so difficult for Manchester United to get past, but this gives them a huge boost going into the game. I don't necessarily think he will start tomorrow against against Bilbao. United don't have the best of records. They've lost 3 out of 4 games in their history against Bilbao. In 1957, I think, was the last game they played. They don't have a great record in knockout competitions against Spanish teams unless they play Real Sociedad. So look, it is obviously positive news for Manchester United getting him back. Sky Sports have put out a video earlier today of Rodri returning to training. That is also massive. You look at his injury back in September against Arsenal. They were winning at the game at the time. They ended up drawing that game. Maybe Man City would have retained another league title if they have him back in the team. A lot's gone wrong, and everyone wrote Guardiola off saying he had to be sacked. He's not good enough anymore. He's washed. He's found out. Man City could still finish second, and they are still in an FA Cup final. Overall, I don't think it's a horrendous season by any account. They still could win silverware. At the end of the day, it's not what Manchester City want. They are 6 points off second place. They've got a lot of winnable games coming up. They've got Wolves on Friday night, which I do expect Manchester City to win. The following week after that, they've got Southampton away, which I expect City to win. And then they've got, I think they play, is it Brighton after that? Sorry, Fulham away after that. And they also play Bournemouth. So I expect Manchester City to win all their remaining games. And they're, of course, going to be huge favourites for the FA Cup. So if you would have said to City fans during December, during this huge fall-off, that you still win the FA Cup, you may finish third or second, I think a lot of City fans would have taken that at that point. Now, Viktor Gyokeres, there is a tweet here from, I don't know how big this account is, but they've given an update with regards to, they've got 36,000 followers. Now, this is just an update of someone's perspective of the timeline. Andrea Berta will meet with his representatives again next week on the 9th of May. This is, of course, about Gyokeres. Arsenal have already met with his agent on 2 previous occasions in recent months. Berta personally has pushed for the deal, and he wants to make him his first marquee signing of this tenure. Gyokeres is very much open to the move, and he's pleased with the project Arsenal have presented them. Other clubs are interested, especially Manchester United. The United interest is particular, could scrap at a deal if they qualify for the Champions League. Now, if Tottenham or Man United qualify for the Champions League, looking at the seasons they have had, that is absolutely disgraceful. I mean, it's great for Man United or Spurs, but the fact we have been that bad, Tottenham have lost 19 games and could be in the Champions League next season, and Man United have been disastrous as well. I personally believe Gyokeres will be an Arsenal player. I look at where they are in terms of their project, in terms of their batting out for league titles. They're in the Champions League semi-final. And I honestly can't see Liverpool winning the Premier League next season. I think a lot of teams will change and adapt the way they play against them. It's always harder to win your Premier League the second year. But there will be question marks about Arteta. Can he get them over the line? It will be 6 years in November that he would have been the Arsenal manager. And of course, it will be 6 years in November that Arsenal have not won a trophy for. So huge question marks have to be asked. What I would say about the Arsenal situation is if they do land the Viktor Gyokeres, I think that is the difference between winning a league and not. If you look at the Premier League this season in terms of where Arsenal are at, they are, as it stands, 15 points away from Liverpool. And I do expect that to probably be close to 20 points. But the main difference is the firepower. They're 17 goals behind Liverpool. They're currently 3 goals behind City, 2 goals behind Newcastle. And I think even Spurs, as bad as we are, we've scored more goals than Arsenal. But if Viktor Gyokeres is an Arsenal player in the summer, I think that is the difference between them winning a league title and them not winning a league title. You know, other sources have come out and said something along the lines of Arsenal are clear favourites. Give Me Sport have said from a Manchester United's perspective, the United stand tweeted out earlier today, nothing is decided so far. Manchester United, but also Arsenal remain keen. For Man United, the financial fair play budget will be crucial to understand how much they can spend on a striker. And that was Fabrizio Romano on Viktor Gyokeres' future via Give Me Sport. You also look at the tweets coming out from David Ornstein, the tweets coming out from Fabrizio Romano suggesting that Alexander Isak is a lot less likely than Gyokeres, and the fact that Arsenal will go and spend, they will go and spend a huge amount of money. I look at the season that if Arsenal don't go and win silverware next season, I think they may have to look at more things like Arteta. If Arsenal sign a Gyokeres and it still doesn't work, then criticism is going to be absolutely coming his way. If they go and buy Gyokeres and they go and get a left winger, I think Arsenal need Zubimendi, a left winger, a creative player, and Gyokeres. If Man United go and get him and they're verge of signing Cunha already, and a first pre-season under the belt for these Manchester United players under Ruben Amorim, I think that's a game changer. You put Gyokeres in that team for Manchester United, and it's night and day in terms of where they're going to finish. Manchester United under Gyokeres are not finishing 15th or 16th under Ruben Amorim. Sorry, with Gyokeres, not under Gyokeres. I honestly believe he's that good. His numbers, of course, won't be like they are in the League of Portugal, like the Premier League. You look at his 2 seasons he's had in Portugal, the numbers are absolutely ridiculous. If you look at his numbers in the Champions League this season, they're ridiculous. I mean, look at that. That's what? Close to 70 goal contributions, 65 goal contributions, or 65 goals. What's that? 44 add 39. So yeah, more than 70 goal contributions in 63 games is absolutely ridiculous. Let me know your thoughts where he will end up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you drop a like. And of course, check out the second channel later for the Barcelona Inter